The Factors of Chess Success. First lecture. This course is designed to help you improve your chess playing ability in such a way that your whole life will benefit. Absorb the knowledge presented in the lectures, work with the exercises, and you will develop into a stronger player. The factors of success which will improve your chess will carry over into the rest of your life, making you a more dynamic, more enterprising, more capable person. Within every player is a better player, trapped by 3 chains of negative thought. The first chain is that most players don't really want to be separated from the group, so they perform well enough to avoid being labeled a failure, but not well enough to be considered a winner. It takes courage to be a winner. The winner has to accept the responsibilities, the criticisms, the scrutiny, and the expectations put upon him by the less successful. To unlock this first chain, you must desire to be a winner, more than you fear it. The second chain, imprisoning potential, is that the player doesn't really believe in himself. To unlock this second chain, you have to believe in your own potential. Put some faith into your abilities. The third chain holding back this great inner performer is that he literally does not know how to make use of his own potential. To release this third chain, you have to define the goal and then let this great performer within you get on with achieving it. We shall be going into these subjects a great deal in detail so that you can learn exactly how to set your true potential free. Now, how are you going to set about mastering your abilities more completely? The answer may sound strange, but you will be learning to succeed by developing a masterful attitude. Without the attitude of a master, you will not be able to put in the quality of effort needed to ensure your success. A strong basic attitude is the foundation of all deserved success. In order to achieve great success, you must be enthusiastic, so that you can always feel like making your best effort. You must be able to focus your attention and play with daring without becoming confused. You must be calm mentally. You must be calm physically, while also being electric with the tension of the moment. You must use the tools of habit, honesty, and information to learn and to win, in that order. Your attitude towards practice and study must be that you love it. The hard work, the repetition, the learning, and the struggle. And in order to sustain this attitude, you'll need to acquire balance. And you'll need to live with a deeper sense of balance, viewing chess for what it is, a means to an end. That end is the self-fulfillment of the individual player through his own games. Working with this course, you will develop these attitudes to the extent you desire. Let's start by being a bit obvious. If you want to improve, you're going to have to be different from the way you are now. That means you're going to have to change. Now, of course, no one likes the idea or feels that they want to change. But in order for you to grow as an individual and as a player, you will have to change. If you can accept this one point and bring about a change in your own attitude, then your prospects improve as of now. Around the time he became a master, Karpov was experiencing many difficulties with his play. Searching his mind, Karpov discovered that the cause of his difficulties lay in his own understanding. He realized that he did not yet know the fundamental laws which govern chess success, and that in order to learn them, he would have to change his way of playing. But what did this mean exactly? Karpov's first thought was that he should stop playing in his own way and learn to play like a stronger player, such as Tal. But looking within himself, Karpov discovered that Tal's style was not for him. Perhaps, he reflected, Tal's style would only work for Tal. It was now time for Karpov to find himself in chess. Playing in his own style, Karpov developed his relatively weak play into that of an even stronger player than Tal. From the complete beginner to the world champion, a player's success is governed by the same laws. Are you ready to find yourself in chess? Although you may want many things in life, you only actually get those for which you pay the price. The price for the chess success you want is that you must change. You may try to improve by studying books and competing in tournaments, but the answer to the question, "How do I become stronger?" lies within yourself. Strong players do not necessarily know more, but they do know better. The difference between the play of relatively strong and weak players is a difference in quality of play, rather than quantity of chess knowledge. And that quality exists in the understanding of the strong player, rather than in his books or experience. Now, I'm not telling you to stop studying or competing, but I am suggesting that you begin to look within yourself for the answers. Most players desire success without first paying the price of change. They want to be the master without first going to school as he did, and that is why they fail. The first step towards change is to see your current standard of play clearly and objectively. As soon as you can accept it as it is, however weak you may consider that to be, a natural process of change begins. Instead of trying to change your play, let it change. Let that better performer within you play his moves. Perfect control in chess happens when you let that inner player have complete control, not when you try to control him with chains of negative thought. All you have to do consciously is to tell the inner player that you want to play good chess, and then just stand back out of his way while he gets on with it. Now, I'm not promising that the inner player will never lose, but he will learn from his defeats much better than you ever could. Errors are an important part of the learning process. Defeats are not really bad events, but so long as you resist what they have to teach, they will repeat until you learn the lesson. If you want to improve, learn to allow your defeats to change your play. Let yourself learn. Accept losses without anger or sadness, and search for the real cause of defeat within your own play. Many players feel guilty about losing, as if they've been found out and punished for doing something wrong. But all players lose sometimes. There's no good reason for feeling bad about it. On the other hand, your attitude should not be that you're happy about it. Only a masochist enjoys failure. And your attitude certainly should not be one of indifference. Quite the opposite. In fact, you must care passionately about the quality of your play and seek to improve it at every opportunity. A lost game provides you with a golden opportunity to eradicate a weakness in your play. Only someone who chooses not to look can fail to see what needs to be done. The true significance of a loss, then, is not that you have lost, but that you have a choice in how to react. All strong players have learned to accept defeat in this way. Korchnoi says that the only way to develop a good competitive attitude is by facing many difficult tasks. If a player avoids tough opposition so that he can always win, he's all the more likely to fail when he does face a real test of his strength. Spassky remembers that at one time he could not sleep if he lost a game. With experience, his attitude changed, so that after a loss he would feel a great energy to fight again, and he even felt that the defeat was helping him. When Fischer was 9 years old, he lost game after game to a master, but Bobby didn't give up. Instead, he kept coming back for more games, even though he always lost. Fischer later explained that he always played honestly and to win, and that if he lost, he would take his medicine. And a loss can be taken as medicine, if you choose to take it that way. As Casablanca said, you can learn much more from a loss than from a win. You may need to lose hundreds of games before becoming a good player. So be honest with yourself about the game and the cause of your defeats. And you can achieve success of a kind even in defeat. Casablanca also had an answer for those unfortunate players who did not admit to making mistakes, but only having bad luck. The good player, said Casablanca, is always lucky. This is more a statement of fact than a joke. Every person who is prepared for opportunity finds that opportunity does not make a fool of him. Prepare for opportunity now in your own head by changing your attitude. Another excuse used by some players is that they can only win if the opponent makes mistakes, so that their failure is nothing to do with them, only with the opponent. However, it'll help you more to take the attitude that your success depends on your own achievements rather than on the mistakes of other players. Another ruse used by players who wish to avoid seeing their play as it really is to regard the opponent as an enemy. In fact, your opponents are fellow students, giving you opportunities to experience and develop your skill. If you seek real enemies, you need look no further than your own bad mental habits, such as fear, laziness, and so on. Emanuel Lasker saw the chess master mainly as a teacher, showing people that the cause of their failures lies within themselves. Why is it important to look for the cause of your failures within yourself rather than blaming other people or events? The reason is that if you don't learn your lesson from one failure in a particular situation, then the next time that kind of situation occurs, it will again reveal the same defect in your understanding, and again you will suffer failure. In chess terms, this could mean often losing through weak endgame play or keeping on with openings which do not suit your style. So learn to look within yourself for the cause of your troubles, and you will discover what needs changing. The style of a chess player grows and develops, as does any living thing. As Karpov said, a player's style goes through a metamorphosis as the player himself grows. Why then do some players play like recording machines, aiming only to reproduce tried and trusted techniques? Well, there are certain social pressures which insist that we all conform to the adapted ways of thinking and acting and living. We are told that there is a perfect way of doing things and that we must imitate that method or we'll be criticized and proved wrong. Tarrasch taught chess by this method, by the rule book of chess laws. Nimzovich rebelled against this method of learning because it was suffocating his inner chess life. To show that the rule books are produced from living chess minds, he wrote a rule book of his own, which he called My System, containing a different set of chess laws and concepts to that used by Tarrasch. Nimzovich then took a great delight in defeating Tarrasch in several games by using his own system, against that used by Tarrasch. These days, most serious players have a copy of My System in their chess library, but they study it in the way taught by Tarrasch, thinking, this is the right way to play this kind of position. Nimzovich felt sad when the younger generation of masters absorbed his chess experiences into their technique. A student may imitate the moves of a great player in a perfect game, but there is an infinite difference between the original and the copy. The original contained moves arising from the living inner potential of the player. The reproduction is a worthless fake if no thought goes into it. Are you the kind of player who has to be told what to do, just as the pieces on the board await the command of the player before they move? Your play is alive. Treat it that way. If you plant an acorn, you may notice that it's small, but you wouldn't blame it for not being an oak tree. When it begins to grow, you may notice its weak appearance, but you wouldn't criticize it for being puny. Instead, you'd provide for its needs: water, sunlight, freedom from weeds, and so on. It is an oak tree from the time it is an acorn to the time it dies. It seems to change as it grows, and yet it is itself at all times, containing its whole unique potential. It doesn't try to grow into an oak tree because it is an oak tree. It's just the same as your chess play. The only way you will fail to grow into a stronger player is if you judge yourself to be a bad player. So relax your judgment on your play. See it for what it is. Accept it for what it is, and you will be in a position to learn quickly and therefore improve quickly. The idea that the harder we struggle, the better we'll do is almost always wrong. You're just not performing efficiently when you exert yourself to the limit. Think of your car engine. Maximum power does not occur at maximum revs. Over-rev the engine and you'll lose power, and maybe damage the engine too. Over-effort reduces your prospects for success. It makes you so tense that your play loses its fluidity. Your thought seize up like an overheated engine. Whenever you do play at full strength, you'll probably have the feeling that you could do better if only you tried harder. But remember, there's no point in trying harder beyond a certain point. And if you're exhausting yourself trying to achieve, then that's all you'll do. Mental anguish and exhaustion are not the marks of top-class performance. They shouldn't be the marks of yours. Let's consider how these factors of chess success translate themselves into actual behavior at the board. Most practical advice of this kind is common sense, and most players come to learn it the hard way. By using this course, you'll be able to follow the advice more easily and efficiently, and so will succeed more easily. The golden rule is, while the game is in progress, avoid thinking about your last game or the next round or your rivals. To be a winner, you must commit yourself to this precise moment. Focus on it. Concentration is the art of focusing your attention. Concentration allows your mind to stay here and now in a calm state. It does not mean worrying about the moves. It is not staring until your eyes get sore. It's not even thinking hard. Concentration occurs naturally when you are so engrossed in the game that you forget to try too hard. It is effortless and relaxed, not tense and purposeful. It is concerned only with what is on the board now, nothing else. Concentrating your mind is like concentrating a beam of light. The narrower the beam is focused, the more intense it becomes. No secrets can be kept from the concentrated mind, and so Petrosian considers that it is possible to learn everything in chess. Focus your mind on the present. The worst lapses in concentration occur when you indulge in daydreams about the past or the future. If you lose concentration, the present situation appears less clearly, and events soon turn against you. The only way to develop concentration is through constant practice. Each time your mind starts to wander, simply bring it back. Avoid criticizing or getting mad at yourself for not concentrating better. Concentration has to be natural and effortless. Play only as well as you are able. Many players follow trappy book variations which they do not really understand in the hope that the opponent will understand still less and make some awful mistake. This is not a good approach. Your play will improve much faster if you concentrate on honestly playing as well as you can, rather than trying to play better than you do. Improvement cannot be forced. It is a natural process of growth, which occurs whenever we allow it. If you do manage to exhaust yourself through over-effort, be sure to take an adequate rest to allow your strength to recover. Unless you feel reasonably fit and healthy, you will not be able to concentrate fully. Eat a nourishing meal a few hours before a serious game, enough to maintain your body weight, but not so much that you have problems digesting the food. If you eat immediately before a tense encounter, indigestion can result. A piece of fruit or a glass of milk is a good snack to take while the game is in progress if you feel the need. Small interruptions, such as a walk around the board or a good squirm in your seat, can provide enough stimulation to keep your mind focused here and now. Concentration does not mean sitting at the board for 5 hours without a break. Concentration must be relaxed, easy, and comfortable to you. The following interesting experiment may teach you something about letting go of everything but the game. While playing your next game, pretend that you are Karpov, world champion. Now, I'm not saying that you should tell yourself that you're as good as Karpov, or that you should tell other players, I'm Karpov now. The idea is to act the part to yourself. Think of the photos you've seen of his games in progress. When you act like a more self-confident person, your inner player will be pleased, whereas your opponent is more likely to become discouraged. Of course, this little technique should not interfere with your concentration of the game in progress. So think of Karpov's eyes, the intense but relaxed concentration which sees everything and fears nothing. This process can be fun and reveals much to the player who practices it with enthusiasm and imaginative involvement. It is now time for us to turn our attention towards the inner play exercise on the other side of this tape. What is it? How does it work? What are the results of using it? Throughout this lecture, we've discussed the importance of concentrating your search for improvement within your own mind. This is because the moves you play on the board are just the expression of your inner understanding of chess. The inner play exercise actually trains you in turning your attention within. You will develop a good, appropriate attitude by experiencing it for yourself. As you learn to relax, you will find it easier to accept your play as it is, and to let it change. With practice, even defeats will not disturb your calm state, and you will profit from your mistakes by developing your understanding. As you become a more relaxed competitor, you will come to experience greater success with less effort. As we explained earlier, concentration must be relaxed and can be developed only by practice. The relaxation exercise is a kind of meditation, and meditation is simply the concentration of the mind within. Practice of meditation will automatically improve your concentration. People practice meditation for all kinds of reasons, to relieve stress, to progress spiritually, and so forth, but meditation itself is quite characterless. It is simply a state of mind, just as being awake or being asleep are states of mind. Some people are afraid to look deeply into their own minds because of what they might find there. Those who are not afraid to look within discover ways to improve their lives. This course is a powerful tool which can improve your chess in such a way that your whole life benefits, but only if you use it. Now, how are you going to learn to relax? You're not going to try to relax, because relaxation is about not trying. By using the first inner play exercise, you will learn to let yourself relax. A quiet mind cannot be achieved through intellectual understanding. Only by the experience of peace in a moment of relaxation will you be sufficiently encouraged to let go more completely next time. You will gradually learn to trust the natural processes which occur as the mind becomes less and less active. The first inner play exercise consists of 3 major sections. Section 1 is causing your body and emotions to slow way down so that they are no longer a distraction to what you're doing. Section 2, you cause yourself to feel that you are in a beautiful, peaceful place out of doors, a happy and soothing place with no threats or distractions. This may be a place you know, or it may be a place you imagine or create in your mind. At this inner place, you will experience yourself as the great performer who guides you to success and happiness. Section 3 is for you to develop the right frame of mind, the most appropriate to have as a basis for the success you're after. The procedure is quite simple, and I'm sure you won't have any difficulty going through it. You don't have to believe that this technique works. All you have to do is use it. It works. Feel free to go over this first inner play exercise as many times as you wish in order to gain the full benefit of its slowing down effect. Many people do require considerable practice to calm down from a tense state. On the other hand, don't hold yourself back from going on to the next tape just because you're not yet perfect at slowing yourself down. It'll come. The important point here is that your results with this technique will depend on your level of involvement with the inner play. Absorb that, and you are ready to change into a more successful player. The ideal place to perform this exercise is quiet, comfortable, and draft-free. If possible, put a woolen blanket on the floor and lie flat on your back with your back straight. Now, turn over the tape and go through your first inner play exercise.